Welcome back to Star Gaming. Wanted to do a follow-up video on Dominations. It is such a good game. I was actually talking to somebody earlier today about it. Um, and I know it's always being compared to Clash of Clans because it came out, I think, within four to 6 months after, something like that. Um, but it really is a very good game. And I wanted to, oh, I got a new, nice. That's the one I just upgraded recently. So the other ones look like little go-karts looking things. This one looks a little bit nicer. Nice. So I wanted to go into a little bit more detail into the game. There's a ton to it. But let's do a really quick run through of the different nations that you can choose. Um, and it looks like in the future they might add more, but who knows. So we'll start with the Chinese. Chinese are pretty interesting. So it says you get an extra citizen. So you need a citizen to be able to build structures. So once they're working and you don't have any more, then you kind of are at a standstill there. So having an extra citizen is pretty important. Chinese are very good early in the game. They also have some other stuff here. So they have the Chukanu, which shoots arrows, and they shoot twice as fast. Does not mean that they shoot for twice the damage. I believe they are about 70% or 75% of a regular character, but they do shoot twice as fast. So it does help out a lot when you're trying to take down troops and things like that. So you get an additional citizen and you get an additional slot in the mercenary camp, which is really cool. Mercenaries can be hired by giving up some of your resources other than your food and gold, be like pelts or wood or different things like that. Then it also grants a bonus defender at the town center per age, which is interesting. So usually you get a set amount of defenders that come out of your town center. This one gives you an extra one per age. I think I'm on age either 6 or 7, so it does start ramping up pretty quick. So defensive wise, they're actually not super bad, but their tanks and different things like that are not super strong, and some of their other stuff isn't as strong. So the Chinese, not a lot of people use them, I would say, that are super competitive, super aggressive, because there are some other nations that are a little bit more aggressive. Let's go to the British. The British gets you more loot, but their unique thing is the longbowman has +1 range and plus 15% more damage, which is really nice. So they can start shooting some of those towers and things like that for distance and not get hurt, which is really nice. And then the extra damage really helps out a lot. So you can swarm a town. Also increases the loot stolen during attacks of plus 15%. At the beginning of the game, it's not too much, but later in the mid part of the game, that 15% can add up really quickly, especially if you're doing multiple battles a day. You can really rack up. So you'll see a lot of aggressive players. You choose the British for the long range and for the extra loot that you can get. I'm playing as the French because it reduces the time it takes to train an army by 20%, which is really nice because some of those characters in the army, as you get further in the game, take a really long time to train. So that kind of speeds it up. And if you ever were to use a blessing or something, it would even speed it up even quicker, which is really nice. Their unique unit is the Chevalier, which is the knight on the horse there, which later turns into the tank, which is plus 20% more health and plus 15% more damage. So they're a little expensive to put out. They take up some slots there for you, but they are very resilient, which is really nice. Also, it increases maximum allied army size, additional +3 in gunpowder age. So once you're part of a alliance, or you can actually donate or receive extra units, so that actually helps you have a bigger alliance. You can have more alliance people in there, which is really nice. The Germans are cool. They have a Vandal, which is kind of like the infantry, and it deals 20% more damage. I have not played as the Germans yet. At some point, it'd be interesting to try them because I do like to use infantry when possible. Duration of the rally is doubled and reduces the cooldown on rally. So that's really cool because that's the what lets you maneuver your troops during battle, so it makes it a lot more effective. You also have Teutonic Fury, bonus troop damage after multiplayer victory. You get 15% bonus troop damage on the battle after the one that you've already completed. So it really, gives them kind of like a rally cry kind of thing. So that's another one for people that are very offensive and they want to be able to attack and everything a little bit better, and they get that extra boost. And that's, believe that's all your troops. It's not just these guys. It could be like tanks and everything else you bring with you. The Greeks I played briefly. They also have a tank, which is a companion. 10% more health and 25% more damage, so it's really, really good. This one gives you a little bit more damage than the French one. The French one has more health, a little bit less damage, but they're both really, really good. This one refunds part of the upgrade cost, 5%. Later in the game, some of the upgrade costs are in the millions, so getting 5% back, is something for sure. And it instantly finishes upgrades and generals under 15 minutes for free, plus 5 minutes per age. So this one early in the game really, really helps. Later in the game, it's not as awesome because some of the upgrades and general recoveries will take many, many hours, if not days. So I like it. I think it works well because once you're, 6, 7 ages in about an hour, you can finish your trainings and your upgrades, sorry, for free, which I think is pretty awesome if you play regularly. So that's a very good balanced team there. Then you have the Japanese, which have the Bushi, which is also infantry, and they deal 20% more damage, which is really nice. And your town center shoots invaders. Now it doesn't do a lot of damage when they're shooting invaders, but at least it's doing something. So it's not defenseless. And then increase the length of peace treaties plus 25%. So some of your peace treaties could last almost 2 days. Peace treaties are those windows where nobody can attack you. So if you're a little bit more passive in the game, you're not playing it all the time, you don't want people attacking you and stealing all your loot, Japanese is a pretty decent one. 20% more damage on your infantry could help for sure. The Koreans are really good. I liked using them. They were one of the newer additions from the original game. And they have the Hwarang, which is really nice, and they deal 40% more damage. That's their archers, and they do some serious damage. Once you get into Global Age and further, that level of increase in damage is not as effective because everybody else is using tanks and planes and all sorts of other stuff. So you do have to kind of change up your strategy. But it refunds loot after being attacked plus 10%. So this is another one where if you're not playing a lot, you can get refunded some of that loot that people stole from you. 10% is not bad. And it increases your maximum war tactics capacity, which is good. So that would be like the fireballs, the arrows, healing, a bunch of other things. So it gives you an extra slot for that, which is nice. So I think the Koreans are very balanced and can be very, very good early in the game. Then the Romans have the larger armies. They have the Legion, which is 25% more health to their infantry, which is awesome. So they don't go down so quick. But the biggest thing here is increases your maximum army size plus 10%. Where I am now, my army size is already over 100. So this would give you easily another 10 slots. And the Legion only uses 1 slot per. So yeah, you could amass a very, very big army. So all of these nations are awesome. I think some of them are a little bit more passive. They'll be better early in the game, or if you're not playing it too much. Versus some are a little bit more defensive, and some of them are more aggressive. But you really pick like whatever you like. To switch, I'm gonna click the different one here. To switch, I think the first time you do it, it's 600 crowns. And then the second time and going forward after that, it's 1,000 crowns if you want to do a revolution and change your nation. So you're not stuck with your nation. You can change it, which is nice. I think I've changed mine a few times. And it is worth it, so you can kind of see the pros and cons of the different nations. I think they're all have their place. And your buildings, like your houses and your farms, different things like that, will look different depending on what nation you're in. Let me scroll in over here. But it's really cool. Very, very good game. But that was just a really, really quick look at the different nations. Let me know in the comments what nation you're playing with. Thanks for watching.